And Everton actually recorded their biggest victory against Chelsea since 1987. What did Everton do, Leroy, to start the game to make it difficult for Chelsea?
Well, firstly, I didn't want to do this game. You twisted the producer's arm, so we did this game. But you have to say, Everton, Hill Dickinson have been having problems, but they started the game off on the front foot, which I think Chelsea knew would happen. And when you go to a place like Everton with the players that they've got, with a manager like David Moyes, what you do not do is give them momentum through your own mistakes. And that's what Chelsea did. They gave the ball away. They made individual errors, which got the atmosphere up. They've got the Everton players on the front foot, because Everton have got a really good side, but they are athletic, they're positive, got a great attitude. And when they get the crowd behind them, they're a difficult side to stop, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the home form hasn't been great. I think it's the first time they've won back-to-back home games this season. But actually, the performance here against Chelsea, I think they saw an opportunity. Chelsea, a team at the moment that are out of form in the last 3 games. It's obviously their 4th straight defeat in all competitions. And I think Everton pounced on an opportunity and they saw a little bit of fragility.
Traditionally, you've been to what was Goodison Park at the time, but certainly playing Everton at Everton. What is the mindset for a player going? Because Everton, teams I've been in, made it a very difficult place to come. So what's the mindset for these Chelsea players going into the stadium?
As an away player, I mean, it's different for me. I've got a soft spot for Everton because Neville Southall was my hero. So I always used to love going to Goodison Park and playing there without much success over the years. I mean, obviously the ground was so tight, it was so narrow, but they've tried to replicate the atmosphere there. And the atmosphere before the game, the pre-game entertainment there it's second to none. I mean, the stadium, the transition from Goodison to there, and it's packed every week in and week out. And you know that you're going to get a game, especially with David Moyes' team, not just Everton, but actually the way that David Moyes sets his team up. You know, the results haven't been great for them at home, but they've never been well beaten. They're always in games. It's always a tough... you're in for a fight. You're in for a battle. They're a well-organised, tactically well-coached team.
Well, Leon Osman's my hero and I haven't got a soft spot.
Yeah, but that's only developed now.
Absolutely. But one thing you can't do, and going to Everton as a more experienced player, you can't get them on the front foot. You've got to quieten the crowd down first. And every manager will say to them, you play to the crowd. You get the crowd quiet in the first 10 minutes, don't get them up, you're in the game.
Well, we loved, this is very much a David Moyes team that is similar to the way that the teams that I played in. And we wanted you to play balls into. We wanted to roll soft passes in here. We are ready to pounce on any of those. We'll put you under pressure. We will, this Keenan Dewsbury Hall run is angled to force a straight pass into there. James Garner's ready for it. We want to encourage that kind of play. And
I have to say, just take that back. What Chelsea are trying to do is find a spare man.
Yeah.
And the spare man is there. But because of the angle of his run, it's not on. And so, as a player, you've got to recognise that. But you look at the top end of the pitch, they've got a little overload over there. So what you do, you play the percentage. And in that situation, OK, not a problem, it's not on, we'll go and play long in there, especially early on in the game. But Fofana, who I think without Chalobah isn't a real leader at the back there, doesn't play every single week, decides to go into that area, Leon, and this is what happens.
Yeah, and as I said, it's Everton's dream. The crowd really responded to that kind of football early in the game, and you felt that, OK, that was Chelsea's one time that they're going to do it. That's a warning, but their goalkeeper joined in.
But as you say, before we move on to this, that's individual leadership, what you're talking about there. You can coach a team, you can put a structure in place, but actually, when you say, without Chalobah, without others in there, that you can't take responsibility for individual errors. When you're a player in that situation, you have to realise that, OK, that's what we're done, we're coached that way, we're looking to play in there, but that's not on. I'm not going to do that. And so often now do we see players that are coached in that way. They're almost coached into a mindset that they have 3 options when they get the ball. If none of those 3 options are on, they panic into doing one of them, which is the wrong decision. The actual decision-making from an experienced player sometimes isn't there.
Absolutely, and I want to talk you through this one because Sanchez has had a problem playing out the back. But this is inexplicable. He's right-footed. I'm just going to play this slowly. As the ball comes back to him, you think, OK, and I see goalkeepers do this on a regular basis, Paul, which is just open their body out and look to just control the ball away from the press, which is Beto coming this way. But in this situation, Sanchez decides to control it back towards him.
Do you know what? I don't know that he meant to do that.
No?
I just think it's a poor touch. I really do. I think, you know, you're not going to coach a goalkeeper or any player to do that. I mean, that is just a poor touch. He's closed. And the way, I think his eyes off the ball, because what he's looking at situations. So what he's got here, his option is there. His option is there. His option is there at a risk, but his out ball is there. So all those things are going through his mind. And that's what happens in a goalkeeper's mind in a split second like that. He's got all that to deal with. But then what he does is he takes his eye off the man running in. It's a terrible touch. And once again, he causes himself all kinds of problems.
Yeah, and this is early on in the game.
Yeah, all in the first 10 minutes. And I say the last thing Everton want is you to come and make the pitch really big and play through the lines. Everton want to make the pitch as small as possible. So look at this. Chelsea have got a throw in the far corner. Look, Everton have forced everyone into that position. That is ideal for Everton. This is in the first 10 minutes. So what they don't want is maybe Cole Palmer being out here and the ball being able to play. Even if you go and stand up there for João Pedro, it makes Everton's defenders go backwards. And they don't. They play into Everton's hands.
But again there, if you just roll that back ever so slightly when it goes into the goalkeeper, that's, again, a narrow vision from the goalkeeper. What you said there, Leroy, about the first touch is forward, right? If he opens himself up in that situation, his pass is here. Sorry,
there you go. Yeah.
His pass is there to them.
Yeah.
He moves on there.
Yeah.
So what he does is the point that you've just made about his first touch when he made the error for the goal, it was straight back. You watch where his first touch goes here. I mean, he could help him by pushing further up. But when you're playing like that and the new way of playing out, the ball comes into you, you open your body up. Yeah. You open up, and that's where the space is. Look at all this space here.
Yeah.
He's done exactly what Everton want him to do.
Yeah. And they're two centre-halves right on top of João Pedro.
Oh, absolutely. Look how high up Tarkowski's able to keep Pedro. Easy ball for Keane, and he thinks in modern-day football, when actually you see centre-halves wanting to actually get it down and play wide and let's start a game ourselves, not in the first 10 minutes for Everton in this game. Let's get it right back in there. Let's get it right back where it came from. We're not embarrassed by it. There's nothing wrong with that. Go and fight for it. And actually, Chelsea delivered. Hato, who's brought the ball down, should probably just pump it straight back forward. He should do the same. OK, Michael Keane, if you want this, I'm going to get our team up. No. He does exactly what Everton want to. Bodies around it. And actually, without doing an awful lot again, Everton get an effort on goal, which, not for the first time, Chelsea have to get bodies back for.
Yeah, they played into Everton's hand. And all the momentum is with them. Now, Chelsea are in good shape. And Everton just passing the ball in behind. You
it's
think,
the goal, Leroy,
yeah, it's the goal. And I'm just going to stop it at a certain point because you look, the back four are in good shape. Everybody's in good shape. But here, as Ghana gets the ball, there's no pressure on the ball. And Fofana, it's already on the back. I'm just going to take it back slightly because as soon as that happens, you see how he's square on.
Yeah. And
Beto is sideways on, but as soon as that happens, all he needs to do is drop off because does he want the ball? He does not want the ball in that space. He wants the ball into Beto's feet because then he can go and be aggressive and tie into him. Beto doesn't want the ball into his feet.
No, he does not.
It's not his strength.
No, he does
You've
not.
got to know your players. So it is about knowing your players and playing the percentages because Ghana produces an unbelievable ball there.
What a ball it is.
Brilliant pass.
It's
brilliant
a defence-splitting pass. The weight of the pass is incredible.
Any thoughts about the goalkeeper's position or the way he comes out in this?
I think he's in a decent starting position. He's looking to read the through ball, and as it goes, he decides, I'm not coming, and then he decides, I'm coming, and then he stops in no man's land. You know, that's one of those where you commit to. I know we're going to look at one of Jordan Pickford in a minute, but the depth perception there, he's made the initial decision to not come, and he should have stuck with it because he made the finish. It was a great finish, but he made the striker's mind up by coming out the way that he did.
Yeah. Well, this is Everton's second goal. Michael Keane getting forward, giving the ball away. From this moment, Chelsea should be fine.
Yeah.
Andre Santos got the ball. He's got many options. Michael Keane's out of position. He's even probably got Cole Palmer on the angle. He's got a nice simple pass. Typical of Chelsea in the afternoon. Sloppy pass. Idrissa Gueye reads it very well. But Chelsea have still got 3 players back against 1 at this moment. So 1 can come over and then they've still got 2v1. Watch what a mess they actually make of this. No real desire to get over and stop it. Mm-hmm. OK. Fofana is, for some reason, always deeper than Beto. OK, fair enough. If you're going to do that, that's fine. But track the run.
Yeah.
So if Beto now makes the run, you've now got yourself into a position where you have to defend it honestly. You have to go in there and do it. He goes in. we just highlight him. He goes in, and then for some reason, and still can't understand why, he stops. And in doing so, gives Beto the time that he needs. I mean, Beto now is waiting for the ball.
He looks up.
He's made
Wind about ever so slightly, just a jot. Look at him. Watch Beto's head. He gets time to look up at the goal.
He can't believe his luck.
He can't believe his luck.
He can't believe his luck.
By that point, he's expecting somebody behind him.
Yes, he's made a poor run,
somebody.
and in those moments, a good defender would get the block on this, but he doesn't. And then ball squirms through Sanchez's legs again. Any talk about the goalkeeper?
Well, listen, it's poor goalkeeping, isn't it? I mean, you can all get done by pace, and obviously we've all had balls go through our legs over the years, but actually it's from pace and from a closer range. That's from a distance where he should be able to react quicker and block that with some part of the body. Regardless of how you block it and keep it out. That's just, it's just, he's got done by the pace, but he shouldn't from that distance.
And this one is a different type of play than we've seen before. So often now the centre midfielder would drop back into a back four in that position and go head the ball so that the defenders can all drop away. For some reason on this occasion, Chelsea don't do that. They allow the ball to come up, and on top of that, the right centre-back goes for it. And Beto is physically great in the air. But because he wins that ball, one flick on now means that Iliman Ndiaye is 1v1 with the right-back, who's Caicedo at the time. Just from one flick on, one poor choice of decision-making, and Everton a 3v2. Absolutely wonderful finish from Iliman Ndiaye. So David Moyes deserves all the credit, but I think we can also agree that there have been quite a few individual errors in there. Yeah,
and that's what led to obviously Everton winning that game comfortably. And they've got to cut out those errors, because in recent weeks that's why they've lost games. Obviously, against Arsenal or PSG, but they've been in those games. The game against PSG, they're in those games. Individual mistake has cost them taking momentum out of their performance.
When you look at the goalkeeper errors, I think that's been a big part of it as well.
Sorry.
I think Robert Sanchez towards the end of the season, I think they're in a similar position as Liverpool were when they had Karius and Mignolet. They've got two decent goalkeepers without having a top-level one. His performance at the end of the season, the Club World Cup, probably fogged Chelsea's vision of an area that they needed to strengthen in.
Yeah. Jordan Pickford.
Let's quickly have a look at Jordan Pickford. We'll probably just
Brilliant.
have to talk over this, but we have to show them, because this is a goalkeeper in incredible form at the moment.
Yeah, he gets boxed in. He does his best with a cross, but his recovery. We all talk about the footwork of a goalkeeper. Regardless of how you get there as quick as you possibly can. You all talk with a side movement. Forget that. Cross the feet. Get there as quick as you can. He gets himself in a position, and that is an incredible reaction. That's not a block. That is a save.
Robbo, has he got the best goalkeeping feet in the league?
Well, this highlights it. This is brilliant. So that he can't react here till it's gone past James Tarkowski.
We'll see it again now.
Rewind that ever so slightly, and you can see James Tarkowski in front of him. Here, Tarkowski just there. Pickford cannot react until that's gone past the last defender, but he sees it. He sees through the gap, and he moves his feet. His feet are going, but you watch, he doesn't fly until it's past the last Everton defender. There you go, gone. And that's when he can react. So 18, 20 yard shot turns into a ball that's coming at you from 7 yards.
Yeah.
His feet, his footwork, his movement is superb. You see it here, he has a little look, but then he doesn't dive until it's cleared the last defender. He's a goalkeeper that's in absolutely superb form. And by the way, that was his 100th clean sheet for Everton. He's been a superb servant for them. There, his starting position was a little bit deep, but he made the decision. He came. His starting position there, you see him, is too deep, but he commits, he goes, and he makes the block. He is a goalkeeper in fantastic form. I like him. I think he's answered a lot of critics, and I think where he is with the international side as well, I think he's superb. When you look at his stats and you look at these,
let's have a look at those
in the
stats.
Premier League, and you look at his England stats, he's got 81 caps. 71 of them are competitive caps. 23 of those are in major competitions. By 71 caps in competitive games, I mean qualifications and major competitions. 23 in major competitions. He's a leader, and I think he's adapted his game to become the person, the goalkeeper that he is.
Where do we rate him in the Premier League with regards to goalkeepers?
I think there's a bracket, the Alisson, the Edisons, that when he was in the Premier League, I think he's nudging that bracket. I think for England, I think he's there.
Yeah. Leroy?
I agree. David Raya, same sort of size, profile. I think he's as good as David Raya.
Absolutely. Well...